I came here and I spilled. And I told you guys that I saw this Cora as also a cash cow, as a working girl, as somebody who was making money, and I saw her husband seeing her as his milk source, somebody he could manage and they could bring money. And you've seen a lot of text message and what where he says he's the one who knows how to make the money, and he's the one who can produce the money, and he can manage the money and the rest, and he was the one with the social media strategy. You. And at the time, I told you guys that it was this girl with the talent and with the strategy. We've seen both of their social media accounts, haven't we? We've seen Cora, who is the natural creator, who has continued to create on her own. She does collaborations with people, but it's just intermittent collaborations. Her page is her content. I think even the children turn up on the page is part of the content, but she herself is the content. But we've also seen her ex-husband maintain his account for a while, discovered that he is not the creative, and so he did a lot of collaborations with different people. Again, I am somebody who pays attention to a lot of things. I know a lot of the fans, the Justin Dean fans, will not appreciate this, but I'm just saying it as it is. This is all information it's available on the public space, and it's not out of any malice. It is exactly as it is. So soon after the divorce, he brought this Frida girl. The Frida girl was the new cash cow. Some of you did not pick it up, but I'm telling you, the Frida girl was the new cash cow. She was a girl very similar to Cora. She was a girl with talent very similar to Cora. She was a girl who was also here to come and perform and bring the milk. I can't remember what happened and the reasons why that venture did not work. And when it didn't happen, he brought a girl who was now his girlfriend. Again, this new girlfriend was very similar to Cora, very similar in looks. Have you guys noticed that most of the people that this guy has brought fit a particular persona? I'm not even going to call the persona, but I'm going to ask you. I know a lot of you have fed on it and you have been in, but I'm asking you very logical questions right now. Have you noticed the pattern in the behavior? It is the patterns of behavior that I'm interested in. Have you noticed the patterns of behavior? Yes, he is not the creative, so he knows that he needs to bring the performers in, so the performers will bring the traffic. I think there are stages where even the drama was encouraged because the drama was bringing traffic. But the drama can only bring traffic. My mom always says drama is like having a poo in public. When you poo, the flies will come onto it because it's fresh and it stinks. And then after a while, it will dry and the flies will leave. So you will see efforts to bring other people on. Yeah, Faisal. The money that girl, and it wasn't even the girl who said so herself. It was this guy who came to say that there was a particular month that girl earned 70-something thousand US dollars in the month. It's changed a little bit with earnings, but boy, that was money to be made. And those people who were pulling those numbers made some crazy money. They made some insane money, I can tell you. Mod. Anyhow, look at the patterns of behavior. You will see the actual creative. And I am very similar. Again, you will notice me. I don't do crazy collaborations with a lot of people. I think I am interesting enough in my own right. I'm comfortable enough in my ability to attract the people that I do attract. And so you don't find me bringing a lot of people. That's because you know that you are adequate in yourself. You do a little bit of collaboration as an act of interdependence because it's good, but it's not dependency on anybody to drive traffic. But you also see people who are not natural creators, people who are not themselves able to bring traffic. And what the strategy then becomes is to align with people and bring people all the time. You go to some people's platforms and you can't even tell who the platform owner is because they are bringing the world and its friends and so on. Yeah. When he started doing that, those who were strategic, who understood, especially those who were a bit neutral, who had insulted me before, were in my inbox and they were like, hey, Amma, now we are seeing the patterns of behavior. And some of the things you first called out without evidence are becoming apparent. And I started getting some apologies in my inbox. People were beginning to figure out, Julia, thank you. So now I'm asking all of you, especially those of you who insulted me, with 3 years of hindsight, with 3 years of data, with a lot of development in this story, do you finally see what I said was not malicious? It was just me, as usual, observing ahead of the public, and actually, in my act of ignorance, forgetting to zip my mouth in the process, and sharing what I could see that very few could see at the time. But I think a lot has unraveled now for even the simplest of minds to see what has happened, to understand. I want to share some lessons with you. I want to share some lessons about network. So this Cora Obidi girl would have been a victim. She would have been broken if her sister had not intervened. And that's the significance of Nancy Ume. And again, when Nancy turned up, I told you guys that she had come to give her sister a voice. She was the spine. She came and she allowed her sister. Her sister, when this thing first happened, did not want to speak. When Nancy turned up on the scene and Nancy sat with her, it gave her the bravado to come and tell her story. Yeah. The powers that be that wanted to oppress and control her were going to use the public smear to control. But Nancy came and Nancy shielded, Nancy fielded and allowed her sister. And at some point, when people were saying her sister was an infidel, she came right out here to back. And all what she was doing was making sure that her sister had the freedom even to come and say she had cheated with somebody. Do you remember she had apparently been in Nigeria and had an affair with somebody and da. The way they handle that is technical. This is what HR and PR professionals who are in the market and know what to do have been doing for celebrities for a long time. When public opinion is swayed to try and force you to hold you to ransom, usually the very skilled, very good PR agents will tell you to come here and just own it. Hold your hand up. Charles, how you doing? And say, yeah, I did it. Yeah, crucify me. But that's thing of her sister. And that's the kind of sister. I have a little sister. That's the kind of big sister that I try to be for my little sister. I will field for my sister. I will let you eat my eyeballs to protect my sister. And so because I am an elder sister to a beautiful young little sister of mine that I will protect with everything. Again, when I saw Nancy do it, I recognized what Nancy was doing. None of you knew Nancy. Nancy could have sat somewhere and been herself.